Thesis: in life, people naturally come across setbacks. Instead of avoiding them, people should accept them with the understanding that these hindrances will encourage them to work harder and perseveringly concentrate on reaching a specific goal. When individuals actively respond to and rectify their mistakes using proactive, open-minded, and optimistic approaches, they achieve and effectively work with and inspire others. To elaborate, failure does not simply take place once. Rather, it develops over time. In other words, you can make several mistakes in your life and still rectify them. However, if you do not improve yourself, then you do not succeed. It is difficult to quickly attain success, as making mistakes is essential in the path to achievement and satisfaction, so long as you take the effort to correct them. Mistakes are not always preventable, and they should be accepted rather than avoided because they allow you to reflect upon your weaknesses and understand what you can do to improve. Along with mistakes, problems help you grow mentally. They help maximize your level of effectiveness, and they teach you new things about your capabilities by compelling you to work harder. Unfortunately, some people who face setbacks fear failure and hence do not improve. Instead, they embrace pessimistic approaches, compare themselves enviously with other successful individuals, and rue their past mistakes with frustration. Additionally, they do not concentrate on responsibilities and hence make the wrong decisions. Their inability to focus also fogs their vision from dedicatedly maintaining clear targets. This is very concerning, as improvement and change are needed to encourage the self to take positive approaches. People who do learn from their setbacks are more determined to improve, they ensure not to make the same mistakes, and they set reasonable goals for themselves. Individuals have complete control over how they react to, what they can do to rectify, and whether they positively accept responsibility for their mistakes. If they hide or ignore their errors, then their smaller mistakes eventually accumulate into larger, harsher setbacks. Furthermore, failures may be fueled by external factors, but inevitably, people themselves cause them. As a strong leader, along with implementing this philosophy, you should enforce collegiality and amiability among those you work with. Not being able to mingle and get along with others can cause additional obstacles to come into your path and hence hinder your success. To enhance your connection with and influence on others, you can motivate them by complimenting their hard work and accomplishments. By giving value and importance to others, you increase your influence and build self-confidence necessary for improvement. Your team members also contribute greatly toward meeting your vision. To succeed in general, set a clear goal in mind, associate yourself with those who can assist you, and challenge yourself. Then, actively plan how you will reach your goal, reflect upon your progress, and continually come up with new ways to achieve this goal and others to come. Maxwell proves this reasoning by providing several biographical examples which exemplify his 15 steps towards success. These steps are: 1. Realize there is one major difference between average people and achieving people. 2. Learn a new definition of failure. 3. Remove the you from failure. 4. Take action and reduce your fear. 5. Change your response to failure by accepting responsibility. 6. Don't let failure from outside get inside you. 7. Say goodbye to yesterday. 8. Change yourself and your world changes. 9. Get over yourself and start giving yourself. 10. Find the benefit in every bad experience. 11. If at first you do succeed, try something harder. 12. Learn from a bad experience and make it a good experience. 13. Work on the weakness that weakens you. 14. Understand there's not much difference between failure and success. 15. Get up, get over it, get going. Maxwell speaks about the life experiences of those individuals who have successfully or unsuccessfully overcome failure at some point in their lives, and how their experience correlates with at least one of these steps. For instance, in the chapter dealing with Step 2, Learn a New Definition of Failure, Maxwell discusses True Kathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A's experience. Kathy and his two brothers set up a restaurant business that was profitable in its initial stages. However, he faced several difficulties. His brothers died in a plane crash, one of his restaurant locations burned down, and he had to face surgery which kept him away from his business. Then, he creatively decided to invent the chicken sandwich. This creation led his business towards success. Kathy saw the positive aspect of all the setbacks he was facing, and decided to start anew by bringing change into his restaurant's menu. He hence used his problems to his benefit and also implemented Step 10, find the benefit in every bad experience. Maxwell uses the story of Rosie Ruiz to correlate with Step 5, change your response to failure by accepting responsibility. Ruiz cheated in the 1980 Boston Marathon by starting the race a mile ahead of all the women participants and was temporarily recognized as the first woman to cross the line with the third fastest women's time ever. Even after being caught and disqualified out of the race, she was later on caught stealing money from her employer and selling cocaine. She never improved or admitted her faults. She continued to fail and trap herself into more problems, and therefore negatively exemplified this Maxwell step. For Step 11, if at first you do succeed, try something harder, Maxwell speaks about pilot Amelia Earhart. Despite facing many crashes, she set many flying records due to her passion for flying. She then decided to challenge herself by becoming the first woman to travel around the world. Unfortunately, she somehow disappeared on this trip. Until date, no one knows exactly what happened to her. Yet, she exemplified the need to take risks and to push your potential. Additionally, by doing so, she fearlessly and actively proved her will towards self-improvement, which is even dictated in Step 4, take action and reduce your fear. Maxwell derived these stories and his ideas from many credible sources, such as Harvard Business School Press, the Los Angeles Times, and Reader's Digest. He has thoroughly researched the concepts he discusses in this book and how they apply to various aspects of life. The philosophy that Maxwell presents can be applied to various other people not discussed in the book. Here are two individuals for which this holds true. Helen Keller. Keller was born as a blind and deaf child. Despite this issue, and many others which resulted from the setback, such as the inability to speak, she became the first blind and deaf person to graduate from college. She also became a well-known speaker for feminism and nonviolence, as well as an author. Keller was able to accomplish so much in her lifetime due to her perseverance and will to overcome the challenges and difficulties she faced with her disabilities. Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln kept facing setbacks till he successfully became President of the United States in 1860. He faced a nervous breakdown, he lost the election to become the Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives, he lost a renomination to Congress, he was rejected for land officer, he lost the nomination for Vice President, and he lost an election while running for Senate. In spite of facing all these problems, he was able to effectively carry out his duties as President. He made very significant accomplishments, including the abolishment of slavery. He did not let his setbacks hinder his determination nor his optimism for the country's future. Failing forward's values apply to everyone, from children to adults, as all human beings have faults or weaknesses which we can correct. Here are a couple of scenarios to demonstrate this. 1. A toddler learning how to walk makes several unsuccessful attempts at first. However, she receives lots of encouragement from her parents who motivate her to work harder until she reaches her goal. 2. A high school student makes a low grade on a test for which he did not study. Instead of getting frustrated over the unsatisfactory grade, or worse, ignoring it, the student looks over the test to understand where he erred, he asks for help from his family, teachers, or peers, and studies properly in preparation for the next test. As a result, he gets a very high score on his next test. 3. A worker makes many mistakes in her new job as she lacks confidence. However, once she is used to the work environment, her colleagues, and the expectations of the job itself, her abilities strengthen and her potential increases. This encourages her to challenge herself and take up more difficult projects within her occupation. Many entrepreneurs, business professionals, employees, etc. have been greatly inspired by this book. Some of them have even developed their own synthesized interpretations of the book's content. For example, Elaine Love, a professional trainer, speaker, and business coach, has written an article on her views on failing forward. She talks about how she has applied the philosophy of the book in her life and how it can be applied to the lives of others. Here is an excerpt from her article. In my own home-based business, I have reinvented my strategy many times. Not every Google campaign worked. Not every web page design attracted leads. Not every print ad resulted in sales. Did I stop marketing and give up? Absolutely not. When my pay-per-click campaigns with Google were costing more than the sales they were generating, did I say Google does not work? Of course not. I decided to change my landing page, change my ad, or change my keywords. Sometimes I changed all three. The secret is to not only change one at a time. Otherwise, you will not know which change made the profitable difference. I am a hiker. Sometimes when I am making a long climb and my legs are complaining, do I turn around and quit? No, because I know I am closer to the top than I think. We have a winding road and steamboat which we lovingly call the run of the false summit. Every time we come around a corner, we think this must be the top. Unfortunately, there is another switchback and then another before the top. It is not a point to stop, but a reminder to keep pushing forward just a little longer. To hear more about Elaine's views of the book, check out this YouTube video. In conclusion, Failing Forward, Turning Mistakes into Stepping Stones for Success by John C. Maxwell is a well-written, organized, and inspiring guide for any individual hoping to overcome their difficulties and move on in life to accomplish greatly and effectively.